I'm back. Welcome back to my expanded divine panel of the Infinite Eight to divinely intervene as needed for my highest good, aka the highest good. This is Operation Empress Diaries number 34, recognizing the Chariot card as number 7. So this is When the Tough Gets Going, part 2. Okay, because the audio just like kind of tapped out on the last one. So I decided to get new header cards, and how crazy this is. I was just like instantaneous, like within a minute's time, they just like, just pull from this deck and then just new header cards. And I did it. And I decided to log in a tad bit early because it shouldn't be really on until 10:14. But we're here. And now it just officially made it to 10:14. And on the left side is judgment. It is receiving judgment. Look, this is a helping hand. This is judgment, okay? The ability for that. And this is like, you see the sun card like right behind that dude? For sure. Excellent. Okay, that's on the recipient side, okay? On the doing side is Seven of Swords. No bullshit. In this reversal, it's no bullshit. Okay, I shit you not. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, so like, let's say like, okay, whether I work with what I have right now, and I fumble through it a little bit, like that definitely felt like the ongoings of my dissolution. It was enough to get going to get me through it. I was blessed with, you know, a certain, I don't know, it was, I don't want to speak too much on it because I truly don't know where people stand, whether here or there, or what scope they're working under. So I'll just be still representative of myself. I can speak for myself. And I hope that just people are moving in the right place and coming from the right place as they move along. Just because I know that like there's a bigger thing happening when it comes to my life path, and so like, if whether I work on that, you know, demeanor, or if I have like, here's the photocopied reports, okay, refer to page 9, addendum 6, you know, whatever, you know, appendix 6 or whatever. And so like, that's, if, you know, like, the facts are all there, okay? But I'm not gonna devote my life to trying to achieve a certain aspect of my life story, you know, with a happy ending and a happy beginning. I'm not going to like sweat blood, you know, and tears and, you know, all of that. It doesn't need to be that dramatic, okay? We've already lived through that. That's besides the point. It's not supposed to proceed in that fashion. And so I know what people do to how they invest themselves in their profession, making hundreds of dollars an hour for certain services or certain whatever. And so I know that they're not devoting their blood, sweat, tears, whatever in that aspect. So why do I need to sacrifice myself? Like, this is almost like a humiliation ritual in its like legal sense. It doesn't have to go there. Just because I didn't study in your profession doesn't mean that I have to eat crow for those deficits. The facts are there. The energy is there. It does not lie. And so there's good emphasis in just going with that. Okay, so if I am cornered, to be like, okay, show me what you got right now. Okay. I can do that with a bit of fumbling because like there's a lot that has gone on, but I think I have enough. Is this working here? Because I just received a text. Yeah. Is this working here? Yeah. All right. So there's that. Okay, somebody's not feeling good with it. I'm feeling. Did you hear those grumblies in my tumblies? They're ongoings that are happening here. They're representative of like the receptivity of what's going on, that are people is just not settling well with people. Like, if I knew, if it was me, if like, how do I say it, if that energy came from me, my ass would feel it, okay? Or I would burp up something. The gas would have its way, its routes, okay? But that was representative of somebody who's just not feeling the vibes. That's the truth of it. All right. So as I was pulling this stuff up, okay, on the right side, I think this is what was coming up with it, and it was just sitting up there like a tombstone. So I just wonder with judgment. Okay, right? left. As is. Yeah, it is right. 10 of Wands in reverse, dropping the burdens. And no bullshit. Again, no bullshit. Boop. Gone. So that's wonderful to see. Now, moving forward. Okay. This might be a short one because I think I spent like 45 minutes maybe on the other. Probably a little bit more. Queen of Cups. Look, my cup is filled. Like all of a sudden, immediate turnaround. This is like bibbity bobbity boo. It's a magical sense. I can go to the ball. So like even with Cinderella, as I remember, even though she was given like an unbelievable amount of like strife and chores so to ensure that she would not be able to go to the ball, she pulled a miracle by like on her own accord and pulling the shit together and not compromising what she produced in order like in getting those tasks done. She did that and then some just by, succeeding. Oh, I just realized, look what was still in this box. Holy crap, what? It's the 8 of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Look at that. This is mastery, and this is being fired up for sure. I didn't realize that was still in the box. Okay, anyway, that says a lot. Like, magical, like, I didn't know you had those reserves. I didn't know you could still do it. I didn't know you could still pull through. According to that context, that is weird shit. I didn't realize that. Like, you saw me, didn't I? Like, it was just like, oh, you know what? Maybe the deck was right here. And then, like, as I was pulling, like, for some, like, short exercises or whatever, I put it in here. I don't know. All I know is that I thought everything was, like, covered. But anyway, Queen of Cups. Not only did she do all of that, she, like, in dismay, her stepsisters and stepmothers, like, oh, you got all of that done? Are you sure? Did you do this? Yes, I did that. Did you do that? Yes, I did this. And then, and somehow she managed her crew, of mice and men, pulled the fairy godmother before the fairy godmother arrived and made her something to go out in, and she loved it. She was good. And then it got destroyed again. But like, oh, you surely can't go. Oh, look at that, picking on her, poking the bear, picking on her, etc. Like, oh, this looks like it's off, and psh, it's off. That kind of energy. So anyway, Queen of Wands over here. Okay, representative of that. So this is like, oh, your cup is filled. Oh, look at, what is it? What does the last person say? Low quality bracelets. It's like trying to jab at me, and I know what's up. I don't need this energy to be here to like say, like I don't need to be like in your face. Like, I know who my sources are. I know that not only are these things like not cheap, but they are known for getting quality items, that they select these things on, they have their own, contacts to get, like, and they're known to get better than many other sources. So I don't need to, contend with that energy. I just know, like, I don't just, like, there's, okay, there's a part of, where there are, budget-friendly items, but, like, as far as the stuff that, how do I say it? Like, the metals that I work with, they're, okay, I didn't have the funds, and I still don't have the funds to get, like, sterling silver or, like, 14, 18 karat gold plating, or even the solid version of that. I don't have that. Like, okay, that's where I want to go with that quality stuff. Like, I'm not going to fake the funk and pretend like I have. I'm not going to see myself to the poorhouse just because I want to pretend like I have it all. Like, I'm not going to go 0 to 60 when I, like, my ticker only goes to 40. You know what I mean? And so the stuff that really does matter, the stuff that I really am working with, like the crystals, like, I don't fuck with, fuckeries on that. And so like, I know I'm coming from a place, like, this shit helps me. Okay. And so, besides the aesthetics of it, the energy really, really helps me. And so, like, what are you working with? You know, what are so what whatever they work with is basically plastic energy. You know, duct tape energy. It's shoddy. So they only know what they can speak to. Trash is trash is trash. And so, but like, I, you know, after so many trials of people trying to push your buttons, like, just not allowing for it anymore. Anyway. All right. When the tough gets going, part 2. Oh, oh. Okay. What is it? Okay. Okay. So, I originally logically thought it was going to go this way, inverted, like, because it's on the inbox, basically. Someone's been served. But this is, the focus is more about the extroverted version of it being in reversal. So this is the follow through, the cleanup, okay? We were picking up from Cinderella. This is about the cleanup portion, full out. Things are going kablooey as we speak, so don't try to clean up while kablooies are still happening. You know what I mean? Like, what good is it to rake the leaves when the wind is still blowing and we still got an afro of leaves, you know, waiting to happen? Like, just wait till things settle for a second, okay? Before you make a clean sweep. Okay. Okay, moving on to here. What else would you like to say? What else would you like to say? So I have other energies here. I think that the energies that are present watching are um are good energies. Because the way I'm processing things are feel like more in alignment than what I experienced with the mishmash pit yesterday, or you know, on the last reading. Not part 1, but the last reading. It's not a diss, it's just like when there's one energy that is way off, it can kind of like muddle the waters of, you know, what's already there, or create like poison the waters. And yeah, anyway, here we go. Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Wands right here. So through all that quarreling, no, hold on, wait. Because I can't read these cards. I'm not supposed to read these cards in its logical aspect. I'm supposed to feel out the energy to verify. Okay. Okay. So this is, but like the things that come in naturally, like at a second's glance, rather than giving it like a minute. I think that's the point of the game where you say, somebody says a phrase or a word, and then the recipient has to immediately say what comes to mind within seconds, not within 10 seconds, within a second. So I think that's the process of this, because what I originally saw was the riot crew and then an investment. So this one is definitely representative of my riot crew. They are well intended. They're coming through. They're causing a ruckus for me. On behalf of me. Let me see here. Anyway, they are. Okay. Yes, and this is an investment. It's like, here you go. Here's your new opportunity. This is not just like flat rate cash kind of thing. This is an opportunity for sure. Okay. Okay, more on the opportunity real quick, because it's already like 15 minutes in, so. Okay, this one. Two of Wands in reverse. It's to be announced. No. No, it's to be announced. It's settled then, is what I heard. And it's to be announced with discretion. Yeah. Okay. So don't dig any further is what they're saying. Don't do it. This is like the when I did the audit and I told you I was so good that I kind of like the VP was very kind about it and impressed that I got there and that I went there. Coming from my position, for sure that anybody would care to challenge that. And so yeah, so that's kind of like that. Okay, all right, okay, so takeaways time. No, there's more. Okay, open forum then. I don't know. Okay. So one thing that I learned from my parents, okay, coming from a traditional family, and I really want to say it. I guess firstborn Americans. How do you? I don't speak like that, but I'm not having to face the challenges that they have faced. Like you, that's got to account for something for sure. Like I have yet to move out of the country to explore different avenues and make it out on my own and partner, and find partner and etc. And so I have not lived that life. And so within that context, there is something great to learn from that, to pick up on. And my dad has a sailor's mouth, but not in front of, it's funny, and not in front of the certain energies. And it's not like a it's not like a political thing, nor is it a I don't know how to describe it, but when people are selective with how they choose to present their realness, or even the rawness of their anger, it says a lot in the ability to read a room. And how, like, understanding how people digest material. And so with that, can I say it? I will say that he will cuss around other energies, like choose to unleash that side, but he won't do that when I'm there. He was just like, not allowed. that kind of energy. And so that's what I noticed in my younger years. um and so, but I do know that he can be very callous with the truth. And now in my later adult years in making firm decisions, and seeing the gruffness of me, he knows that I also carry that within me. Like, I have a certain crassness in being able to say things for what, like, call it as it is. Um, and and then my mother, she has a different way. She has a different way. Like, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Like, she won't use those crass words, but she will talk her mad shit. Like the Mad Hatter, unbelievable. So I take on a good balance of the two. Like, when it comes time to speak my piece, there may be no peace while I'm speaking my piece, because it's gone that far. Like, I will not spit in your face, but by accident I may just spit in your face trying to speak facts. Like, it is so emphatic that it may come off like that. um oh, thanks, of course. um but that's how it is. That's the truth in seeing it and handling it two different ways. So I've got batches of that. And so I don't even know why I ended up saying it like that. But okay, it's time for okay. I don't understand what's going on here. All right. All right. So they said there's more to be said. Okay. Open forum for my expanded divine panel of the infinite eight when the tough gets going. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Seven of Pentacles. Just be patient. Things are happening. It's like, this is not just like this is ruffling feathers down beneath, but it's also like getting things riled up. Like, what do you call it? And what is it? In the Kanye Jay-Z song, the it gets the people going, like or that kind of energy. Oh, the realness. Look, the Emperor bossing up big time. The Hermit card. This is coming out of the dark night of the soul. I didn't know I had it in me. I kind of had the inkling of it. I felt it, but to be able to truly embody that, where that's like all that you'll see, really. Seven of Wands in reverse. This is let me see here, double card in reverse and Eight of Cups. Okay, so this is kind of like being the bigger the better person and boss, by saying, like, this is a different version of saying, like, back the fuck off type of energy. This is the awareness of, like, what power I truly hold, that even if people don't recognize, they really don't want to see that kind of wrath, because not only am I representative of it, but those that back me are, it comes in a huge array. Very unexpected, very like without mercy type of energy. Like, I don't think you've really seen hell on earth until, like, you've met this energy. And so it's like, this is a different version of back the fuck off. This is like, okay, I'm gonna like turn it down a notch a bit, and I don't control everything. Like, this is kind of like the area of surrender. Like, I'm going to leave things where they're at right now. Okay. So it may look as though, like, I'm stepping down and I don't have leverage and acting like that. But this is like, you really don't want to see that side. Trust me, you do not. You do not want to challenge that. Your ego is not going to only be humbled, but absolutely obliterated. This is not the degree of, like, emasculating another energy. This is more like absolutely castrating that energy. And like, this is really, really bad. So, like, I'm just trying to refrain from all of that. And so this is kind of leaving it. Like, this is an absolute funked up mess. And so I'm just going to leave the noise for a second. You hear sirens? I'm telling you, it can get really, 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 really bad. Like, there's ghetto bad, there's projects bad. This is bad, bad. This is like apocalyptic bad. Like, this is, I know that sounds a little harsh, but seeing the Emperor starting that off, and what was it before? Like, just wait for it. Just wait for it. Because you don't know what can come from the underworld. You don't know what can come from those havens. You don't know what can come from the darkness. Like, coming, like, looking at, like, okay, what we just said in context, like, the bottom, you see the bottom of the barrel. What's the sandwich? My enactment of this. Okay, what's the energy in between? What's the meat? This is like, you know, like in In-N-Out, they have like, you know, a double, and then they have the 4x4 type of energy. They have the whatever. This is like a massive, like, triple, you know, meat heart attack type of, you know, energy. Because, like, in those holes, in those depths, in the darkness lurking underneath, there's absolute leverage and, like, the craziest fuckery possible. Okay, you see, like, if this is all an upright, this is leverage here, like a huge advantage of, like, what goes on in the dark. And this is like the absolute fuckeries to, like, head that on. You see, that's the ram's horn. Like, it's, there's that. Okay, so this is kind of just, maybe we don't approach everything all in one batch this week. Maybe it's just like a couple of touch points. Okay, and we prep for next week. What's the feedback on it, or, like, there's more to come from this. But I am going to be diligent about how I move, and you choose however the fuck you want to move. But this is straight up a warning. Like, I'm gonna let you off with a warning. This is a big one. Yeah. Okay, let me see here. Energy. Okay, there's nothing more to say about that, but that's absolutely correct. All right, so time for takeaways? Yes, okay. So deck 1. No, 1. This is deck 1. Deck 2. Deck 3. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, congratulations on your second year of, or 2.5 years. Let's account for that extra half of a year of sobriety. Good for you. You anticipate some struggles? I think you've gone over the big lump of it. They say that smoking is like the most, I'm hearing contagious. No, the like the most, like, one of the biggest vices. Like, it's hard to quit. And so I think it's because of the excuse, like, it's, you can easily go back to it, but, like, how do I say it? The craving, it dissipates significantly after 2.5 years. And so as far as if it has, people use the word sober more so with, let's say, drinking. And so I think you've gotten over a big, like, stint of it. Yeah. The biggest part of it. So good for you. Hey, So good for you. um yes, you're off on a good start. Definitely. Okay, so now for the takeaways, okay? Okay. So top bottom takeaways first off, okay? Bottom is Chariot, moving along. This is highlighting the Chariot card. This one, Operation Emperor's Diaries number 34, boiling down to 7. Okay, just wait for it. This is patience. Patience, my friends. Master number 77 is a master revolutionary. They get somewhere. They get traction. That's all that matters. Progress is the most important thing, okay? Work in progress just as equal to rest in progress. Yeah, definitely. Rest assured. Things will come in due timing. Especially when you're trying to better yourself in your situation. Don't allow energies to rush you to this and that. And don't get triggered by it either. Okay? I got to tell myself to do that. Oh, yeah. Well, it's going to if winter is a season for the reason for most people to have a drink or whatever, this is probably going to boost you into your fitness stage for sure. Like, I know that when it gets cold here, I get I crumple up and I go into hibernation because like it makes everything freeze up. And so that's the feels of it. But I know that when I work out, it just like thaws my body out. And usually when there's like cold patches of energy, that's dark energy. That's bullshit. Trying to sedate me. Geez. Yeah, so I mean that might get you into your fitness stage. More of your fitness stage. So yeah, don't allow people to rush you through your like I'm getting better process. Yeah. So this is just prepping. This is kind of like harvesting. All right, so there's that. Okay. Okay, and then bottom of the deck over here is 10 of Wands. A lot to do. This is external though. So like kind of mind your own business. This is because this is like bottom of the deck, secret to the sauce. There are other ingredients in the mix, and this is kind of just knowing what ingredients you bring to the table, which is or versus what other people bring to the table. Some are in excess, some is like well, I see it this way, I see it that way, etc., blah 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 blah. But it's like, does that really mesh for the recipe that we're trying to make? Okay, so it's there's that kind of energy. I usually don't get that, but that's what it's saying here. Top of the deck, no secret. This is death. So this is no secret to the sauce. This is like putting a hush on certain extras. Okay. This is like, you know, when you're watching, I don't know, like Master Chef or some kind of like restaurant type of show, and you know, like foodie type of show, and you're going to see that a lot of people have their own personal opinions about what they bring to the table. And the master chefs are like, what were you thinking? Like, this takes away from that. And there's like, this mutes out the whatever this is supposed to highlight. And it's not making people like buckle their knees or question themselves. This is more like, don't you see this? Like, sometimes you have to like put your ego aside, or sometimes you really got to tune into this or that. It's like upper management having a way with trying to speak to the rookies in an educated form where someone can learn, but not in its like casual, like order up type of sense. This is tapping into the frequency that should be aligned, whether start or finish, like start to mastery of what you should be really attuned to. Like get your head in the game for sure, without it like being like like how do I say it? Like this is where it's at. Like, can you see it or not? So anyway, this is kind of like silencing the room when there's like there's a lot, you know, thrown onto the plate. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Yeshua. That was really sweet. Yeah, without letting them drain you, for sure. That was really sweet. I think that's the first time I've seen you respond on here. Appreciate that. Oh, I don't recall that that emoji, the heart with the cross on it. Oh, interesting. I'm going to have to put that in my shortcuts. Anyway, bottom of the deck, 5 of Swords. This is having leverage. This is in a way like this is the one up. So perspective is key. We didn't get here without our individual struggles. So in the same aspect, it challenges us to not ding others for their perspective. So this is where the patience comes through. I wouldn't say so much as forgiveness, but people try to pass that off as like the same lingo as forgiveness, as patience. But this is forgiveness in its collective form. Like I was once in a part of my reality that was that felt unforgiving, and that I didn't see things the way I see things now. And so it's giving each other that space, but it's not all super cut and dry. There is gray area. So if somebody's coming at you like yelling down your throat with their own perspective, that's where you really have to defend yourself. So when you have to defend yourself, there's a lot of one-ups that we can present to the table. Okay, that's the secret to our sauce. Okay, top of the deck, Ace of Wands. Look at that. No secret. We're fired up when we gotta be. Clearance from the spirits. It's an odd world, but there will be out there, but we'll have. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay, is it working? Okay, is it working? Let me see here. Is it working? Okay, is it working? Oh, it's working. Yay! Okay, I don't have to. I don't have to. A little bit of a psych out here. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So there are disruptors in the energetic field. Yeah. Is it? I don't know. No, I just received a call. Okay. Let me see here. Testing one more time. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So there are disruptors in. I don't know. No, I just received a call. Okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So 2 takeaways for my super duper refined divine collective. Okay. First one. King of Swords in reverse. I told you this dude always comes through. Oh, it's internal. What?
I told you this dude always...
No, it should be okay.
Oh, it's internal.
Hold on. Bro. Yeah, yeah, because like I'm doing the replay and it seems to be okay. When doing readings like this, is it for someone's...
It seems to be okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Dominantly, like it's in the description box, but dominantly they are for me. I speak for myself. I don't do unpaid personal readings. But so this is like an area where you find resonance or relatability. And when I specify, and you know that you're doing the work, that you either know that it's yours or not. When I specify that it's a shared item or for my collective, that's when it's, you know, for you, like really designated. Like I can account for that. I felt the energy. They did say it's shared, and so that's where it is at. Thank you, queens. Yeah, so it's not going to fit all of the time because I have to be able to speak for myself. I've got to primarily get the return, since it's what I'm doing is not dominantly like paid for. Yeah. Um, you know, I think maybe I'll be more generous as money rolls in, but right now I have to be sparing with my resources and just make sense out of all of that. So anyway, King of Swords in reverse, internal, external energy. It's internal. And they're well intended. So my super duper refined divine collective, this energy is actually here and live. What's up? Okay. Okay. Four of Swords, they're assisting in recuperation. And they're successful at that. So they're saying just like, just know that. Just know that I delivered. I delivered my piece. That's funny. Let me see here. Okay, so this is saying, I have to be, like, there are exchanges like reciprocation in life, so I can't take this dude for granted. But there's a confirmation that you're gonna get yours for sure. Everybody's gonna get theirs. Is the piece here. They didn't get theirs. That's where I had to validate. But there's no expectation in like having to, you know, tend to them too, because they know like how all of this shit works. So no pressure on the like giving back. Like they feel they like what they do, but even more so they like that there's purpose now in what they do. This is an assassin type of energy for sure. Yeah, look. You see? An assassin energy. They work remotely. Oh yeah. You wouldn't suspect. What else are we gonna say about this? Oh my gosh, 45 minutes. Holy crap. Okay. All right. Okay. Knight of Pentacles in reversal. They deliver. I told you. I told you. Yeah, and they are going to get what's theirs. They haven't gotten it yet, but I checked the energy. Okay. Anyway, second takeaway. Yeah, time does fly. The never-ending story. Okay, Seven of Cups. Options. Options. Resources. Watch out for the pitfall. Where is it? Right. You could, like, if you're not looking, if you're paying attention to what's behind you and who's following or not, you could fall down to the depths before getting to that. Watch where you're going, not who's, you know, behind you. Yeah, people will have to look after themselves. If you see what's in front of you, you can call it out. There's a pothole, or there's a whatever. There's a, and that's how to look out for others behind you. And they're going to have to account for themselves. And don't be like, celebrating too early. Like, hey, I found some resources. Ah, that kind of energy. Never mind. That's where so many have failed. Yeah, you see the bones. So it's okay going like, Eureka, found a way out, etc. But this is just like, watch where you're going. Watch where. Okay, all right. Clarified by. The Star card. Okay. This is where the wishes are stored. Yeah. Wishing and hoping and praying. What is that? I don't know. You live right by Eureka Road. That's interesting. Weird. Okay. Maybe like go for a walk. I don't understand, but how did that even come to? Judgment is coming through. This is like, okay, another energy is here because I have some celebrities kind of mixed into here as well on my collective. But Seven of Cups, this is like knowing that there are options. There's like walking in the door and like, oh my God, there's this huge like pantry of stuff. I thought we were doomed. Like, I thought this was, I didn't know it was going to be such glamour here. So this is seeing different aspects of yourself, but knowing the pitfalls as well. What is it? Barriers upon entry is like the huge pitfall is knowing what could be, like the possibilities, and knowing you're a star, you're rocking it or whatever. But like judgment in reversal is kind of like the biggest part of it is not just like how other people perceive you, but how you judge yourself. How do you really see yourself? So beyond the glamour, beyond like, you know, just isolated, how do you really see yourself? So that's yeah, definitely where we're looking at, especially when you were just talking about sobriety there. You know, that could be like a huge pitfall here, like judgment and waiting, you know, when you're really like a rock star. Like, that's like, those are your reserves. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. You see where the light is showing? Like, oh my God. Yeah, so just discovering other aspects of yourself, but like also knowing, like, you know, where it could go wrong. Okay. All right. 2 takeaways from my partners in peace and quiet, which includes myself. Three of Cups. Celebration is in order. That's collectively speaking. Fantastic. Okay. Clarified by Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Because of what I set forth on my garden, in my lane, etc., etc. Clarified by. Yes. Righteous Umbra. 10 of Cups, yeah. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so that's a good depiction. Umbra, God's chosen are hated, but we are never pressed and envy or jealous of others. So looking at that, we can celebrate with, and we're paying attention to our own garden, even though it's not really coming into fruition. There's a process to certain things, and so this is like, and certain things are coming into fruition, but this is like paying attention to your own garden, like the nature of what's going on in your own yard. And so I almost said lard. What is the fat of the land, living off of your own fat of the land. Weird. Okay, and this is like, this is absolute fulfillment. So this is no comparison. This is like, I'm really good with what I've got. I can live off the fat of my own land. Okay. All right, interesting. All right, my second takeaway is okay. I heard this land is your land. This land is my land. That kind of energy. What's yours is yours. 8 of Wands in reversal. Discreet communication. Yeah, discreet communication is the energy behind that. Knight of Wands in reversal. Not a player on this energy. This is it like this? Hold on. Oh, that's the true energy of it. Do I get one more for that? Or move on to the next one to see what that means. Death. Discreet communication. Oh, okay. This is kind of like late breaking news, but this is like in the ethers, like maybe through the grapevine. Yeah, some through the grapevine. That there are like juvenile players that are going to see their demise. Okay, so again, paying attention to your own garden. Like, I'm not like, okay, what's happening with them? This is just hearing by default what's happening. That juvenile players are meeting their demise. Yeah, it's like putting your fist in your own mouth type of energy. Like, there's something about it where it's they're gonna get served for sure, like their own knuckle sandwich. That's what that, there's something about it. This is big time death. Dude, I don't know, this is not just being cornered. This is like, you're out. Oh my god. Some are going to be like extricated from certain firms, or like booted out of, not just booted out. This is more like dishonorable discharge type of energy. And this can go for many walks of life, because there are plenty that have done wrong. So this is like, it could be literally like dishonorably discharged from a certain military setting, or like a grouping, a gathering, extricated from a firm. That was the first thing that I got, that I like, the messaging. Or business entity. More so business entity. Yeah. This just as an FYI, as part of my takeaway. Like, you not only get this, but you also get that. And even though that's not an add-on, it is a huge subtraction from your arena as well as other people's arena. Like, that is, like, nobody's gonna have to deal with that shit. Okay. So it looks like it goes both ways, doesn't it? Um, yeah. Like, energy doesn't go by a single identity. So, you understand. So we're not just talking about like my ex or your ex. There are other representatives out there that like they know that that's foul energy. Anyway, and ex doesn't have to be like in its romantic sense either. It can be like you know, career-wise as well, or within friendships. Anyway, Knight of Cups. These are suitors. These are admirers. If you're looking at that, that's kind of the same impression here, except like on their good day, when they're not rushing so much. Like I like I like my life. I like my life on the road. I like just like rolling with it, you know, looking at more of the atmosphere rather than all of its individual ingredients in its stagnant form. Like it's, you know, yeah, that's what that is. A. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so they're telling me this is internal, this is external. So, like, you know, when people get too comfortable, whether they have this amount of money or that amount of money or don't have it at all. And in every society, you can see that there's impressions of lacking or lack mindset. And even though that's not something we focus on, that's what some people, like a dominant energy, chooses to lead with. And so there's some yeah, I feel the chills on that for sure, for sure. So that's where this comes along. Like, this is why I like moving along from this world to that world, and not, you know, playing it safe and just like cozying up and getting vested within a certain business entity. This is why I like moving along, moving forward, whereas here or there I return or whatever. Because we see, when you sit for too long, you see the stagnancy and people's boils and blisters, and their talks about it and this and that, and like nothing's moving along. So there's that energy there. They get too comfortable in this and that. So clarifying. So this is when the tough get going. The Devil card. I need a clarifier on that. Three of Swords in reverse. Okay, so it means no harm. Okay, so this is kind of like the Devil's Advocate. This is a different version of true gold. Like, this is 14 karat gold versus 24 karat gold. This is turning it up like way, way up. So this is the Midas touch in touch points. And like when you move along societies, you like give them gold. Like, I know your version, like, how do you say? So this is kind of like not really auditing. This is surveying land, surveying different atmospheres, and like giving testimony to each. And so it's like when you, what do you call it? When you get estimates on, let's say, your property, what do you call that? It's like an evaluation kind of thing. So, but with testimony. So it's like, okay, this is what it really is, and then you can work with that. It is malleable. A higher carat in gold means that it is has is, I think it's a greater sense of malleability. Malleable, is that a word? It's it's uh, it's something that, even though you don't really, even though it's not as obvious, it is more malleable than what you were working with. So because you don't okay, so the higher the carat of the gold, okay, I know this is elementary, but the higher the carat of the gold is a greater value. And so greater value is synonymous with the psychology of it being stronger, and that is against its actual make. The higher the carat, the more malleable it is. And so strength is not necessarily its depiction of being like solid, sturdy. Strength is depicted in its like like its ability to shapeshift basically. And so you have to see beyond the its like raw sense of its common sense of value, and also see beyond the constructs of what strength is. So there's that in moving from place to place to place. So it's not just for those that we're holding testimony to in surveying, but also to ourselves. And so that's the journey of life when the tough gets going. Yes. Okay, that's it for now. Holy smokes, we made it. We made it through. Thanks so much for all donations provided in and of light and love that reciprocate equally and therefore abundantly. But now that this reading is officially over, even with all of its disruptions, we made it through. Fantastic. I call back all my power, energy, essence, gifts, strength, properties, passions, pursuits, and prospects from those that call upon, cast, generate, bring, magnify, multiply, or any variation thereof the aforementioned ill will, intent, thought form, pattern, and or entity to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit for cleansings, for blessings, for reformatting to love and light energy, and to be refortified in me, only me, hassle free, no doubt, no attachment, except for all bonus points included. Thanks so much. Of course, of course. Upon closing the portals in these readings, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with the sequence of rollout in light and love. I close the portals in these readings now. And thank you also for all of like the wonderful like well-wishing in emoji style, gingham style. Quartz crystals became critical for star frequency control in radios and radar, enabling reliable, precise communications. Oh, thank you. That's great. That's a great fact to know. I like that. There's no, okay, let me tell you a little story about this, okay? If I can, if I may, if I might. This was, I got this from assisting my supposed friend of 20 plus years that I had to do away with as well. I assisted her at a like, I don't know, like more like a swap meet style of her, offerings in the spiritual community. And so I helped her at, man her booth or whatever. And I'm not gonna say like everything that had transpired, but in helping her out, she would like let me as an exchange to pay for my time, she would let me have certain things or severely discount certain crystals. This one was something that I had purchased from her, severely discounted. I didn't realize the reason why because she did not disclose it, and nor do I. Like I'm okay with it. Like I'm totally okay with it. Crystals come in their natural form. It's not a huge ding to me. But this one, as it you know, it's missing a piece over here, so it doesn't stand as properly, and that's probably why it was laying down the whole time. But it's, you know, it cracked right there, just as like it has this formation here that's natural, that can, you know, crack as well. But it, like, I still loved it, you know. I it still has its thing to me. And so this, believe it or not, this was actually only $25. And so it, I mean, I've gone to crystal shows before and that are supposed to be discounted, and that is insane. That's insane. But when I started out with this, like reading with it, I was dealing with a lot of like jealous energies as well. So there were a couple of times that I dropped it. And even though I have a carpeted floor, it kind of dinged it at the very tip, you see? It's not as like sharp as it once was before, but it's okay. It still does the job. I'm not going to let people rain on my parade. Yeah, but crystals can get very, very expensive. And for like the height of this, you know, like this is this would have cost a lot, a lot. So it doesn't bother me, things like that. Like I had a more perfect one that was really cool, that the one with the amethyst and the blue apatite and all of that, from the same source. And I ended up giving that one away. But yeah, so I'm not gonna let any little like flaws mess with my day. I mean, a quartz is still a quartz. It'll still do its thing, and it's still like, if I didn't point that out, like, who the fuck cares? You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, that's it for now. Anyway, I will see y'all later. Okay.